Good afternoon, restaurant fans and restaurant folks. This is Steve Barnes from the Times Union, back with another edition of Table Hopping Live. We are here to talk best of. Our Best of the Capital Region section is coming to you, about 5 months late. We took the voting, as we traditionally have in the past, in January and February, and we doubled the number of any previous year. There were 550,000 votes cast by more than 50,000 readers, and with that really strong response, we did want to bring you those results, but then March came along and everything shut down, and it really wouldn't have been fair or even made any sense to try to go forward with a section that, quite frankly, telling you about places you can't go, things you can't experience or can't do, and food you can't have. So now that we're well underway with having the phase 4 of New York's economic reopening underway, at least in the capital region, the section will be coming out this week. And here to talk about that with me is Tom Crocker, who is marketing art director for the Times Union.
Hi, Steve.
Tom, you there? Hey, Tom. So talk to me about the decision to launch this in the fall. I briefly touched on the fact that we had such strong voting. We really wanted to share that with people, but tell me about the conversations that went on to say, now's the time to do it.
Well, you can imagine back in the spring when there was so much momentum and excitement from our nomination stage to our voting stage. And then all we had to do then is to let people know who won in all these incredible categories. And then the pandemic hit and everything came to a screeching halt, which was really unfortunate. As you said, there was so much participation, so much excitement from and engagement from the public. And we're on course to have a record year, and we still did, and there's still a lot of excitement around it, but we had to put that all on hold. So then it went from, we were thinking of doing a live event. Live events aren't really a thing right now, and so we said, well, let's hold off, and what we have is what we've done in the past, which is let's announce it, let's publish it in the Best Of magazine, and then we can share with everybody who is the best of the capital region.
What are some of the marketing and promotional efforts that we're putting into this? Because it is still, people aren't going out as much. So how do we go ahead and promote something? How do you go ahead and promote something that's in a world that's profoundly different than it was in previous years for this really big section that we do each year?
Yeah, I think we doubled our efforts in the social category between Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. We just really were everywhere on social media, and people, it was incredible response for people that way. Of course, we're going to be in the paper and all the emails that we sent to people, and again, emailing our message was. People were really responsive to that as well, probably one of the most responsive. So we were trying to just be everywhere, but essentially social media was our friend with this, and we were really able to get the word out that way.
And what do you think about, how about you personally? Are you ready to see these recommendations again? Do you want to know, after being at home mostly for 5 months? I see you're still at home. We don't see each other in the office, have not since March. Are you curious to see what people picked?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We made a concerted effort. We decided every Wednesday we were going to order out, and we just wanted, part of that was like, hey, we're all still working and we all got to still eat. Let's support the local restaurants. And we made it a concerted effort on the weekends, but definitely Wednesday night was our eat out night. And I would like to know now what everybody feels about, we're going to restaurants, but everyone was still eating the food and enjoying as much entertainment as we could. So I think there's still a lot of excitement for this, especially with the fact that now we're all trying to get out in different ways. And so now we're going to have this wealth of knowledge of like, what's the best place around to go out?
Well, there's 100 categories that we had this year. And as I said, it was more than 500,000 votes in total. And what I found remarkable is just in the dining category, there's about 31 in the dining category. And there's generally top 5 finishers. And that I could determine of those top 5 finishers, only one appears to not be doing any sort of dining in. They've had their food truck that they go around and have been at events and other certain things. But of all of those categories and all of the winners in all those categories, remarkably, everybody's still in business in some form, even if they're only doing takeout. So despite some of the really dire things we've heard, and I don't want to be too sunnily optimistic here, because it could very well be we're going to lose some of them because we have lost some others. But among our top finishers, they have been really dedicated, and they're all still open. So here we go. You tell me, we're going to go through some of these. You tell me how many of them you've been to. So for Best of the Capital Region in the dining out categories, this is just a sneak preview. The full thing will be online on Thursday, in the paper on Thursday. But for Best Chinese in a single location, this is Plum Blossom in Troy, which has been represented in the top finishers for Best Chinese since we started in 1997. Plum Blossom in Troy.
All right.
Best Hamburger. Now, I was only going to do the winners, but I really decided, because the winner of Best Hamburger actually closed for the season last weekend, and that's Jumpin' Jack's Drive-In in Scotia. Did you get to Jumpin' Jack's this year, Tom?
I didn't get to Jumpin' Jack's, just a little far from Del Mar.
Well, for me too, I understand it, but my younger brother did get there this summer, and he sent me some pictures of him with his dog sitting by the Mohawk River. But Jumpin' Jack's, they extended their season by an additional week, but they did close after last weekend. So I wanted to throw in another one. The second place finisher in our reader voting was City Line Bar and Grill in Albany. And City Line is open year round. So Jumpin' Jack's can't get your burger fix there. Their City Line is open.
Good for City Line. That's a great place. And they got that big porch out back too.
So and I'm sure they're going to be putting heaters up. And people I think they're going to be putting on their puffy vests and fleece pants and their Ugg boots. I mean, not that I would wear any of that. Maybe you won't either, but some of the warmer weather stuff to sit outside. Moving along to Best Chicken Wings. Now, this place, the Rusty Nail Grill and Tavern up in southern Saratoga County, they have this special that gives you as many chicken wings as you are years old for free on your birthday.
Oh, my Lord.
And in February, the owner told me that they had 40 birthday promotions in February. So they were doing more than one a night. And on one night, they had, in separate parties, they had 2 94-year-olds come in with groups of people.
Oh, man.
So 2 parties alone, 188 wings. So Rusty Nail, I think we understand why the Rusty Nail certainly has legions of fans when it comes to Best Chicken Wings.
Steve, I'm from Buffalo.
Well, do you have an opinion on this, or are you gonna tell us that it's really got to be in Buffalo?
I don't think it has to be in Buffalo. I still have a couple places in Buffalo that I just absolutely I love. Besides, and I've never been to the Anchor Bar. People are like, "Oh, the Anchor Bar." I'm like, I've never been there, but I always go to Cole's on Elmwood Avenue, and I always go to Brennan's Bowery Bar in Clarence, New York, and of course, oh my gosh, I forgot one of the most.
Oh, it's all right. I'm being completely addled on this end because there's a car alarm going off. I hope you can't hear it too much.
I can hear it.
Oh,
it's
dear.
nice.
So, I mean, and the amazing thing is, I mean, car alarms seem like such a thing of the past. They used to go off all the time, right? Throughout college, you just hear car alarms. And I once remember a movie from the 90s where these kids on skateboards were
They
going
go
down a hill.
by
Yeah.
hitting the
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah. Hitting every car as they went past. And I'm
That's
thinking,
right.
who has a car alarm that still goes off like this?
Don't.
Well, all right. I know you're not supposed to do this in a live broadcast, but I'm going to run over to the window and shut it. So give me 30 seconds so you can vamp there, Tom.
All right, but here I love the Jameson barbecue sauce at O'Slattery's, which just happens to be up the street from me. So that's like one of my favorite chicken wings. I love them. They're
Well,
so good.
And key to that, I think, in part, is the up the street from my house, because I think we are all partial to things that are close by.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on now, there's a place that consistently has done well in both the Italian and the best local restaurant category. And once again, they have won both of them. Best Italian and best local restaurant are both De Raymond's in Loudonville.
Wow.
And it's remarkable because, De Raymond's has an older clientele. They're in Price Chopper Plaza. They've been there for a long time. I think they've been there since, oh goodness, 96 or 97. And yet their older clientele really gets out the vote, because not only are they best Italian, which given the competition locally is pretty significant, they're also best local restaurant. So among thousands and thousands of votes for best local restaurant, De Raymond's comes in.
Yeah, and when we're at the office, when we have to have an event for advertising, it's always great because many times they'll get De Raymond's. It's like, all right, it's great, good stuff.
And De Raymond's was actually where Joe Biden went to eat when he was in town for a speech. It was all secret. I heard about it, but I was sworn to secrecy. Couldn't publish it at the time. But now, a couple of years after, that is where the then vice president's team chose for him to eat was De Raymond's.
Wow.
So now the always the hotly contested best restaurant to open in the past year, which means, of course, this place opened last August, had a really solid, 6-month run, and then shut down.
And then
they have reopened, but it is the Shaker and Vine Wine Bar in the Mohawk Harbor development near the Rivers Casino. So Shaker and Vine is our favorite restaurant of our readers to open in the past year.
All right, good. Looks beautiful. I have not been there. I'd love to go there sometime.
One of the interesting things that it's actually a self-serve wine bar. You get food from a kitchen server just like normal, but they actually have these panels of almost wine vending machines, and you've got an account, and you simply decide whether you want, a 3-ounce or a 5-ounce or a larger glass.
Like yogurt.
Well, yes.
It's like TCB with wine. TCB wine. There we go.
And it's right there on Mohawk Harbor. A friend of mine actually lives there, and almost every night he's so wowed by the sunset and maybe by a little bit of the Shaker and Vines wines that he posts a sunset picture. Oh, so I think having a wine bar facing the sunset is not a bad way to live.
That's a great combo.
Yeah. All righty. Well, folks, those are 6 of the 30-some restaurant categories, dining and other things that include everything from favorite tea shop all the way to throughout the international categories, and then pizza and that sort of thing. Those will be in the paper and online. What sort of push are we going to give it online? People going to be able to find this on Thursday, Tom?
Yeah, timesunion.com/best of. And if you want to go pick up the paper and grab the magazine itself, any Stewart shops, Market 32, Price Chopper, Hannaford locations, those are always the top places to go grab the newspaper and thumb through the best of.
Very good. This is Steve Barnes with Table Hopping Live, and we've been chatting with Tom Crocker, who's the who is the marketing art director for the Times Union.
Perfect.
He'll be helping get the word out for our Best of the Capital Region section. Though much delayed, it is coming out on Thursday online in print. Thank you, Tom. Great to chat with you.
Thanks, Steve.
And until next week, I'm Steve Barnes from the Times Union. Eat well and be well.